Oh, that's what she said. Okay, look.
And if you didn't hear that, that's issue 63 that we're on right now.
63. Are we live? Wait.
We're live.
Oh, we're live.
It's Wednesday. It's 7:30. If you're here with me, E-R-N-K. Here at the source, I got my bottle of water, and everybody's cool. Okay, that's the new intro because that's what kind of happened. Hi, people. How is everybody? Pretty good.
Good.
Chilling, man. Oh, shit, my mask. Oh well.
Oh no. Hi, people in the chat room. Hi, Sean. Super Sean, because there's Super Sean. Keith, who I'm just making up, and anybody else is in there. Thank you for joining us.
I swear there's a Keith.
Us here.
Oh, sure, there was a Keith.
Is
somewhere.
there a Keith?
I think so.
Okay,
I think so.
There we go. Come on now. Come back, Keith. Come back.
Well, if your name's Keith, Sean, or whoever you are, thank you for joining us. We are the Source Wall. We're a podcast show. We talk about comics, pop culture, movies, all that kind of geeky, nerdy stuff. We normally go live at 7:30 on Wednesdays, but it's 7:30-ish.
It's 8-ish.
Now.
It's
8-ish. It's about 8. No, it's not 8-ish. It's about 8.
Yeah.
It's about 8.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So
we go live on YouTube about 8-ish or 7:30-ish on YouTube. But if you don't catch us live, you can catch us on iTunes, Google Play, SoundCloud, and any other podcast software you listen to. We try to upload this about midnight tonight, so you'll be able to get it on Thursday morning, or
And I was pointing to various links that we'll have there in places that are down there. They're down there.
In the description below.
No, subscribe, like, share, comment.
All of that. And also we've got a Teespring where you can get lovely hoodies like this one I'm wearing right now.
Like that one. Yeah.
Nice hoodie.
But not this one.
Yes.
Not that one.
Rich is doing promotion right now because clearly we are not. So
it's not a paid promotion, obviously.
No.
Can't pay ourselves.
There we go.
But check us out and subscribe, like, and share.
Yay! Let's do this.
So how's everyone been? Everyone's been good. Everyone's recovered from GOT, I guess.
I mean, recovered is a strong word. I have come to accept this. It's not a swear word. It's a slang word. This fuckerization. Okay? I have come to accept. Okay. Can we talk about this for like 5 seconds? Right.
No.
Okay.
So there's an allocated time and place.
Okay, I'm not okay. That means I'm not okay. I'm not okay. There we go. That's my answer. I'm not okay.
Sorry, I wasn't trying to diss. I'm keeping us on the script.
I know. But I'm just okay. I'm not okay. I'm not okay, Rich. I'm not okay.
Trust me, you're gonna volcano up and it will be cool.
Okay. It's gonna hold the water.
Well, okay. Let's go through our comic reviews first, and then we'll do the pull list, and then we can talk about Game of Thrones. We can do like a. Should we do a spoiler? We've got to do a spoiler.
Yeah.
If you ain't seen Game of Thrones yet, actually, do you know what? Can I give a mad shout out to my older brother?
Oh my God.
No, he did it.
Your older brother?
He did it. Not only did he do it, but he beat us.
I know.
I was busting up. I was like, how? My brother was like, so what? Game of Thrones was season 8. Went up to season 8. I think my brother decided on season 3. Oh, I'm not gonna watch the seasons from now on. I'm gonna read the books and get the proper story. And we were all like, "What? You some sort of idiot or something?" And then he had the audacity to want to know about Game of Thrones final season. And we're like, yeah, you got some catching up to do. You're not catching up in 2 weeks. But my brother, He did it. If there was anyone in the world to do it, it's him. So
big up.
big up, man. That's crazy.
Caught up and
beat us.
Episode before us. Like,
and shout out to those punks who leaked it, because he was only able to do that because it was leaked. If it wasn't leaked, he wouldn't have been able to watch it before us. It's punk move.
It comes out. I don't think it was leaked. I think the script was leaked.
Was it the script?
Yeah, the script was leaked. Not the actual program, but the program normally comes on Sky Atlantic at about
on 2 a.m.
2 or 3 a.m.
2 in the morning.
2 a.m.
Yeah.
So by about 4 or 5, you can
got my Sundays back now. I can actually sleep, because before I was napping, and then waking up at like 12:30, and then it'd be like, okay, do my hair. Okay.
Nah, still shout out to you, bro. That was dope. Right, what's first?
So, what y'all been reading? What's been going on? What have you been reading?
Reading a little Wicked and Divine.
Yeah.
Which you have been reading for 63 issues of the Source Wall.
I know, right? I was supposed to review this 3 issues ago. I do apologize. Firstly, the comic's kind of fat. I think this is the fattest one that they've got.
What volume is that?
This is volume 8.
Oh, okay.
So
are you reading 63 a page a week for a year?
I mean, shush. So look, this is where we're at. Okay, this is what we've come to, and we've come to. Old is the new. Okay, and in this issue they did an issue like this before where they had different illustrators doing different stories. So that's why everything's a little bit more dense. So you've got kind of like a noir story, tale of the old, and then kind of nice cartoonish thing, and So with this as well, it's a little. I always find it a little bit hard to follow, because I'm like, are you doing a prequel, or what are you doing? Are you doing a continuation? Because I just want to know what's happening. Because again, every 90 years, 12 gods return as young people. They are loved, they are hated. In 2 years, they all are dead. It's happening now, and it's happening again. So, spoilers, by the way. So far, obviously, they've unearthed some deception. And the woman who's been more or less bringing people back so that they can be gods, she's only doing that so that she can live eternally. Right. And there's a kind of a curse on her that she's trying not to, so it doesn't come to fruition, because she thinks that curse will break her being able to live forever. And then someone else is that. Is the kind of the Neo of the whole breaking the wheel kind of thing. So we're there at the story. Yeah, it's gonna be just Game of Thrones connotations all day. So we're basically there, and it's basically them, more or less them two, just figuring it out and just messing up everybody else along the way.
That's your t-shirt.
Oh, thanks. Gotta have a little Family Guy in Star Wars, man.
Yeah.
It's a trap. It is. Don't watch season 8 of Game of Thrones. Just don't do it. So with this one, this one was more of like a prequel. So it's going back, seeing how each god has evolved throughout the centuries, and what they've done, and how they've come back, and how they've died, kind of thing. So it's kind of a little, kind of like a porridge moment. When you have it in a film where it's just filler. And you're just like, okay, yeah, cool. But I mean, it's nice to see again other artists, and to kind of go back and see. So the main character, where is she? Sorry, 2 secs. 10 moments. So she's been in the Dark Ages. So that's her. That one. She's been in the Dark Ages. And it's just like, when I say she's gone through it all, she's gone through like medieval, she's gone through Egyptian, she's gone through Greek. You know what I mean? So nice. She's got, she's when it comes to being a badass, she's a badass, like, which is really good. Which is really bad gal. You know what I mean? Gal. So it's a good read. These ones are a little dense and a little bit of like, you know, you know what I mean, when you're reading them, but it is enjoyable. So if you go out, get you some Wicked and Divine. Again, there's black people in there. Look, oh my god, how cute is that? I feel like her and Naomi need to meet up. I feel like they'd be best of friends. They'd be so best of friends. That'd be so good.
Nice.
But yeah, really good. Wicked and Divine. Old is the new. Get it? Sourcewall approved.
All right.
So, yeah.
Nice. Well, speaking of curses, I've been reading Conan the Barbarian, and
Conan.
by
I haven't got a sword.
Jason Aaron and Mahmoud Assur, and a colorist is Matthew Wilson.
Hey, Mr. Wilson.
This book is sick. What Jason Aaron is doing with Conan, it has been pretty dope. It's basically what he's basically doing is he's got kind of like a core story that's happening, but while he's telling this core story, it's going back or forward into the life of Conan.
Okay.
So you've got loads of flashbacks happening, and this I won't talk about the main kind of story. What's happening? There's a lot. It's basically a witch is actually, you know what we was talking about last week about Dark Avengers, and they're in the Savage Land, and someone's trying to get all the blood of murderers or people with strong blood. It's kind of basically like that as well, where this witch is trying to get his blood to. I think she's trying to resurrect a god as well, actually.
Ooh.
But the actual story of this particular comic is he's basically on a ship, and he's by himself. He wakes up, and it's all a monologue, or like the narrator's talking about Conan. How he's angry when he wakes up because he fell asleep, and the ship has been drifting. He doesn't know where he is, and he's trying to man this humongous ship by himself, which is near impossible. But obviously, he's Conan, so he can do anything pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much.
But you find out that the ship smells. It really stinks, and you've got fish like dying around it and things. But what you actually realise is that he started off on a ship trying to travel somewhere with a whole crew of people. But then he was carrying like a what do they call it? Like a totem.
Okay.
So, but the totem was cursed, and and a fight breaks out, and basically, when blood hits the totem, mad stuff starts happening. So you see everyone just getting knocked out, and then Conan wakes up, and he's pretty much the only one awake. And then basically you see like a octopus, but it's a mad-looking octopus with loads of tentacles trying to get on the ship. Basically, he dispatches the octopus, and the ship is there. He's throwing the dead bodies because there's loads of dead bodies on the ship now. He's throwing the bodies overboard, but then it's mutating the fish and the shark in the water. So then you got frying sharks.
Okay, I need to read this comic because they're doing too much, and I love it. Go on.
Yeah, it's just mad because it's kind of like all this is happening, but it's happening throughout days while he's acting. So he's just falling asleep, he's doing things, and then then he's kind of telling the story about what's happening below deck as well. And then you see a massive, gigantic rat come out, and the rat's got tentacles on it as well. And he's hungry.
Too much.
You know what? It does really seem like maybe Jason Aaron's been smoking too much and came out with
it's okay. Everybody has a stressful week, Jason. It's all right. Do your thing. We like tentacles and octopuses. Go for it.
That's it. But I mean, just reading Jason Aaron's Conan the Barbarian, it's. I'm an 80s kid. I grew up on early Schwarzenegger. Literally Conan the Barbarian, I think it was his first film. That's my Conan. That was my Conan like a couple years back, until I started reading Jason Aaron's Conan, and it's just put Conan in a whole new light for me. So
nice.
I mean, yeah, he's doing really well. You got to keep up with this. This was actually issue 5, so this was actually a couple months back. It's a couple months old. I'm currently reading issue 6, so maybe I'll talk to you guys about it next week. But yeah, if you can, like I said, it's only 6 issues in. It's still the first story arc. So if you missed it and you probably can't pick up the first few issues. Look out for the trade paperback when it comes out.
I'm definitely looking forward to that when it comes out.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get the whole shebang.
I think I already added it to my wish list. I'm sure I've got a wish list.
Yeah. Well, speaking of wish and pull lists.
Let's loving these segues. Go for it.
Yeah, let's get on to this week's pull list.
Yeah. Oh no, real quick. I just want to let you guys know I don't have a review because I've been reading too much and I can't focus my mind to tell you what they're about. But I'm binge reading Uncanny X-Men, and I've got to read issue 15. So that's pretty dope. I realize I'm up to date with Avengers Earth's Mighty Heroes, but then realized I forgot to read issue 13, which tells the story of the original Iron Fist. So I've got that to look forward to. I've got a few other comics like Shazam issue 5 to read, which I really want that storyline just to end now. But it's only the first arc. It's only the first arc, so I'll give them a bye. And also the other day I read Naomi issue 3, which kind of took me for a loop. I was like, wait, it wasn't what we all thought that it was when we thought that it was. So that was cool.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, have you read issue 3, Rich?
I think I did actually.
It's where she talks to the guy, and he tells her his backstory, and then her dad reveals Naomi's dad reveals something to her. So
yeah.
So I've read issue 3, and I've got to read 4 and 5. That's just come through the post today, so I'm looking forward to that. And yeah, that's it right now. I'm reading. Yeah, so I just thought I'd let you guys know I'm on a mission.
What are you reading?
Yeah, and I still got Nightwing.
Good for your brain.
Yeah, I'm also reading other stuff, but yeah,
other stuff. Yes.
So anyway, that's me, and now we can segue back to Richard's original segue that he did.
Yes, I'm just trying.
Speaking of segues.
Sorry, I'm just actually trying to find the latest Avengers. So basically, what we normally do is do a pull list, and I'll put it together, and like number 1 will be like the main one to get kind of thing. But, this is kind of coincides with a bit of sad news as well, but I would definitely recommend right now getting Avengers issue 19. This is basically the War of the Realms tie-in. I haven't actually been keeping up. I'm quite behind on a few of the tie-ins actually, so I haven't been keeping up with them. That's my problem with tie-ins, because there's so much to read. I miss track of the event. But yeah, this book, War of the Realms tie-in, Avengers Mountain is under siege as the last stronghold of Earth's heroes, is the subject of an all-out assault by the forces of Malekith. Now, the reason why I am switching this to number 1, that is a must-get, because unfortunately the colorist, whose name is Justin Ponsor, this is his last book, because unfortunately he succumbed to cancer this week. So yeah, I think I just heard on another podcast actually that I think this one is his last book. So yeah, I mean, Jay, just to sidestep a little bit, Justin, he's a fantastic colorist. I don't know if you guys look at comics. like black and white comics before. You know, when you get special right at the back, like a director's cut, and you have a black and white comic, and you see the color of it.
Yeah, I've got a few like that.
Yeah,
beautiful. He's one of those colorists that it makes it look amazing. He's worked on Avengers, like I said, Defenders, Uncanny X-Men, Civil War, and I think he's also worked on several Spider-Man, Miles Morales Spider-Man titles as well.
Nice.
So yeah, he's going to be greatly missed, man. Definitely, he's be greatly missed. So yeah, if you can pick up Avengers 19.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'll be getting that anyway. What are they up to now? Avengers.
Issue 19.
I've probably got it then.
Yeah, issue 19 is out today.
We're sending him well wishes and
best of wishes, blessings and such.
Even if he doesn't do any more colouring, I hope he he leads up.
He died.
Oh, he died.
Yeah,
he
died.
I thought you were just like,
you said he succumbed to cancer. I was like, maybe he got ill and he has to stop. Oh, that's even worse.
No, he died. He passed. Maybe I got my words wrong. I thought succumbing was.
He succumbed to death. Not to make a joke of it, but
sorry, my bad.
I'm not laughing. No, it's okay. Okay. You're going to be greatly missed, and I hope wherever you are, you're able to do whatever you love and color the sky with happiness and all of that good stuff. So thank you for all the work you've done on Earth, and we appreciate you. We appreciate you. Yes.
Aww. Sorry, but I should have.
No, it's okay. It's good. Okay.
So next on the list is Ghost Tree. Actually, that's one of your one, Isha.
Yes. Do you want me to read it for you?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, because see now Rich is forever reading everything, so we've got to give him a break because he does a lot. Okay, for the source of the wall. Okay, so this is what we're helping out with now. So okay, so we got Ghost Tree. This is the second print. It's by Bobby Kernau and Simon Gain, publisher IDW Publishing. Seeking refuge from an unhappy life. Is it Brandit? Brant. Thank you. Brant returns to his ancestral home in Japan to find a haunted tree and the departed souls that are drawn to it, including his grandfather. Brant attempts to heal some of the history wounds, but will he be able to find any measures of peace for himself when someone special from his past returns? From writers Bobby, and artist Simon, a touching story about love, loss, and how the past never truly stays dead. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, there we go.
Nice.
That's Ghost Tree. I saw it and I was like, looks okay. So, I put it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no. So I put issue because basically issue 2 is out now.
Yes.
But issue 1 has got the second printing as well. So
okay.
Can pick them both up and catch up on it. It reads good.
Yeah, and the I always say animation. The illustration looks really nice. So I like it. It's very manga. So yeah, woo! What's next?
Let me know if you guys can't hear me because my computer is running slow for some reason at the moment.
We can hear you perfectly fine.
Seems all good.
Yeah.
All right. Next one is Miles Morales, Spider-Man, issue 6 by Saladin Ahmed, Javin Garon, and Mark D. Alfonso. Obviously, this one is Marvel Comics. Who is Starling, and is she single? We mean, is she going to help stop Tombstone, or is she about to make the .45,000 caliber war for Brooklyn even deadlier? The last thing he needs is another complication at school. Good thing high school is like a very chill, logical place. Oh, wait.
Yeah. I started collecting that. And I got to a bit where he teamed up with the Rhino, but because I stopped collecting comics, I have no idea where I got to, or if I'm still collecting them, or what. Need to look into that. It's only issue 6. I might just back collect because I was enjoying reading that as well.
I've stopped as well. Funnily enough, I think I stopped at that place as well.
Yeah. Let's see what's going on with that. But yeah, sounds like that would be a cool one, man. Go Miles Morales. Support your black heroes.
Yes. Love you, Miles. We love you.
Next one is X-Force issue 8. This one's by Ed Bryson, Dylan Burnett, and Pepe Larraz. X-Force is trapped in the future. But what kind of future is it? X-Force has been pretty sick.
Cool.
It's kind of young Cable. You kind of get the backstory of where he's been and what he's been up to, and the new his old team kind of don't really trust him, but they're on a mad mission. It's pretty. It is very interesting. It's a really good X-Force book. I'm actually with this new thing that's happening with Jonathan Hickman in the next few months. Basically, they're restarting the X-Men books. So I'm assuming X-Force. The next one on the list is Mr. and Mrs. X, Uncanny X-Men. These are all being really good books at the moment, and they're going to be cancelled when Powers of X and what was the other one? Powers of X and House of X. When that comes out, that's all gonna. All the other X books are gonna stop. So,
oh man,
it's quite sad that these are gonna stop because these have been really good books at the moment.
How long have you got left on the X-Force? Do you know how many issues left?
So I think it probably goes up to 10. I'm not actually 100% sure. I know that Jonathan Hickman, his book is out in
July, isn't it?
I think so. Yeah, I think it's in July.
I was gonna ask, like, is with Uncanny X-Men and X-Force, are they gonna end them properly, like give him a final issue, or because I remember we were talking last week or Saturday, whatever it was, about how they're sort of gonna bring them back once they do what they do with Hickman stuff or something.
He's going to basically he's going to have his Powers of X and House of X book. That's going to happen, and after that run, they're going to bring out the other books. Whether it's going to be Uncanny X-Men, I think he's going to take control of the main books, so that'll probably be X-Men or Uncanny X-Men, and all the other books, possibly X-Force maybe, and maybe the other X labels. Other writers and artists will be on those books as well, but he will be overseeing it in a sense. It's kind of like an editor. It's a really weird situation. It's because he's not like the editor-in-chief, but he's kind of handling the whole X-Men kind of
rearc.
Exactly.
Okay.
So, but finally, on that, speaking of X, the last book on the pull list was Mr. and Mrs. X, issue 11. All hail the king and queen of thieves. The Thieves Guild has come to take what is theirs. Where does this leave Rogue and Gambit? So, if you don't know, Rogue and Gambit are a couple at the moment. They've been on a mission. I haven't actually read it since issue 2, I think.
The voice went all the way up.
Yeah, because that's quite a while ago.
I might get this as a graphic novel because I read the graphic novel. I forgot what it was called. I think it was called Rogue and Gambit, and where Kitty sends them to that spa. On an island. That was a sick story, and that was where they got back together as well by the end of it. And then obviously in X-Men, during Kitty and Colossus's wedding, it didn't happen, and they got married.
Yeah, exactly.
God, I remember that.
Mr. and Mrs. X is a continuation from that book, so
so I might get the graphic novel when that comes out because I think that'd be sick to have the continuation.
Nice.
All right.
It's our pull list.
The pull list for this.
Time for...
Don't forget, if you're reading anything, let us know. If you like what we are pulling in our pull list, let us know. We'll talk about it. So yeah.
Like, comment, share, subscribe. Support and throw out
Okay, so next on the list is comic news.
Before you start on that, I saw you got to give out that tweet, like what was just said at the beginning. That's news, man. Like, shout them out.
We'll do that before we do the Game of Thrones.
Right,
we'll do that. Do that after the comics.
That'll be the precursor to when we're talking into Game of Thrones. That's fine.
Yeah.
It's pretty fun. I'm ready. Okay, go.
Let's get through this quickly then. So, comic book news: History of X, the Seminal Moments documentary. So, Marvel has brought out the first episode of 4 episodes. They've got a mini documentary of X-Men. So,
hello.
With anticipation of the House of X and Powers of X, it's going to usher in a new era of X-Men. If you didn't know, so Marvel has released a small history documentary of the X-Men. So on the 20th of this month, they brought out episode 1, which was about the giant-sized X-Men, which came out in 1975. The 22nd, which is today, they've released episode 2, and that's X-Men issue 1. This one was released in 1991. And obviously, if you don't know, this one was I think it wasn't a giant-sized X-Men. Giant-sized X-Men was 1975. This one was, I think it was
Wipeout Wednesday.
Yeah, it is. Wipeout Wednesday, indeed. This was when the blue team and red team of the X-Men was out. And it was Jim Lee. That's it. Jim Lee X-Men.
Jim Lee X-Men.
This was Chris Claremont and Jim Lee. This was
Jim Lee, This is like back in the day.
It's just le brilliance, just bellissimo. That's all you could say. Just so blood clot good. So good. So yes, go ahead.
Soundbite. On the 24th, we'll have the Age of Apocalypse, and on the 28th, they'll release new X-Men.
Okay.
So, as you can see, these are really important moments of the X-Men history. So, if you can, it's all on YouTube. You can check out the Marvel.com or their YouTube channel and check out the short documentaries. They're not even that long either. They're about 4 or 5 minutes. So
okay, cool.
Worth a look. Next, we've got Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo explain Batman Last Night on Earth.
Okay.
So this one is basically Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo doing the final days, their version of the final days of Batman. This is actually from Newsarama. So they had an interview with them, and basically, although Batman has been, as Snyder was saying, basically, although Batman's been handled by multiple writers since he was introduced 75 years ago, the character has gone through an evolution under each writer's pen, creating different versions of him. And while conversing with Morrison at a comic book convention, Snyder was told the Batman would become like a creator-owned character, complete with an origin story and ending. Morrison said openly to me, "You'll see how your version of Batman is going to die or go down." So basically, Snyder is reuniting with Greg Capullo to tell that story, Batman: The Last Night. And it actually launches today as well. So, I mean, if you guys know, if you guys have been keeping up with, the Greg Capullo and Scott Snyder's Batman story arcs, you would know that there have been pretty darn good. So this will definitely be one to pick up.
Oh yeah,
that's good. And don't postpone
go
it,
out
people.
and read
Just write
Court
it
of Owls
and then...
or yeah.
Cool.
we
Yeah.
were waiting in anticipation. We were like,
Yeah.
Oh damn,
oh,
scared there. No, because you two froze. I'm like, what's going on? No, I was gonna say read like Court of Owls or what's it? What? Wow, you guys.
What's the next one? Yeah, Court of
Just read
Owls.
some Greg Capullo and it's because you keep pausing.
What are you doing?
Oh, the oh my days.
Death in the Family.
Death of the Family. That's
There
it.
we
Death
go.
of the Family.
Oh, thank you. You.
Death of the Family.
That was the best skit
You
ever.
lot were
Man's
pausing.
like,
It
what?
was oh man.
We were like, we're waiting. We're just this is our like interested face in what you're saying. Like, oh, that was brilliant. Oh my days. Okay, cool. What's
I don't know what to tell you, man. But anyways, they're dope. Scott Snyder, Greg Capullo.
Definitely.
Yeah, good. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Absolute Carnage is the next event from Marvel. They've got Absolute Carnage, and we've got multiple tie-ins as well. So from August up until October, we'll have Absolute Carnage, Lethal Protector, Miles Morales will be involved.
Cool.
Carnage versus Deadpool. We've got Venom. Even an Avengers book as well. So it's going to be quite a big event. That's
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that symbiote Spider-Man is part of it. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. So,
what are our thoughts on this? Are you guys,
No, I think it's going to be good because it's Donny Cates.
It seems interesting, but it's a lot of comics to get, man.
Yeah, there's so much that's going to be released, and it's by Donny Cates, and what Donny Cates has been doing on Venom has been pretty amazing at the moment. You know,
cool.
I know you was reading Venom as well, right, Karen? No? Karen?
I was reading some of it when they were doing the. Hi, I'm here.
Yeah, we can hear you.
I think it's a bit late. That's probably why.
Okay. He's gone out. He's coming back, people. It's okay. No worries. But yes, he has been reading it because he was about to tell you that he was reading it. But yes.
But yeah, his book has been really good. So I am looking forward to it. It's going to be a mix between, I guess, that and the Spider-Man book, Symbiote Spider-Man. And it's going to be happening while X-Men is happening as well. So there probably won't be any X-Men involved in it, but we'll see.
We'll see. Yeah. Hopefully, like with these books as well, it's like obviously they're going to translate into films, and hopefully some of the goodness. I'm
sure.
You know what I mean? So it'll be good if, you know what I mean, like you said, Donny Cage? Yeah?
Donny Cates.
Yeah, Donny Cates. Yeah, if he's obviously the writing is amazing, then hopefully that translates into the script of the next film. So
I think you'll definitely see that. This is the kind of book that you'll see some history of the Venom symbiote coming into play in the books. Definitely.
Cool.
Yeah.
Amazing.
So next one was actually going to go into the Game of Thrones.
Oh my God! Come on! No, we have to get Kay back. Look, he might have gone on an emergency technical mission with the technology. I was going to give him 2 minutes, okay? We're going to quickly talk about the fact that the Comic-Con is in 2 days. 2 days. He's back. He's back.
Sorry about that.
He's back.
Sorry.
It's okay. We just had a slight
regulate the services.
Yeah.
There we go. So right, he's back. Comic-Con's in 2 days. Let's get back to script. What were you gonna say? Because we're ready to talk about it. Because man like Kay is back. Hit me.
All right. So basically, let's get into it. Game of Thrones.
Oh my God.
So yeah, that tweet I just read. by Solwar the Arrogant. Reads, congratulations to Grey Worm, first black guy to make it all the way through a violent TV series.
Yo, yeah.
That's hilarious, man. That's too funny.
Okay, let's do this.
Amazing.
Spoilers.
Okay.
Full spoilers.
Full spoilers. What the fiddly FUCK sugar honey iced tea went on? Okay, this is what I don't like, yeah? You writers, the creator, the guy who wrote the thing, he was like, push it to 10 episodes. The network was like, cool, fine, here's more money. Because this is our highest paying show.
Yeah.
These men were like, nah, we got Star Wars stuff to do. But you're going over to Star Wars to clean up the mess. Yeah. You're basically cleaning up mess that you have left. That's basically all you're doing. So you're cleaning up someone who was half-assed in Star Wars, and now you've just left all of this dog fecal matter here. There were more questions than I have ever known in the history of knowing a TV show.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, you're right. There was so many questions that was left unanswered.
Yeah.
I mean, I did like it. Don't get me wrong. This season definitely felt rushed. In my opinion, no way it was the worst season ever. I actually think it was probably maybe one of the best, not the best, but one of the best seasons for me personally.
Okay.
But yeah, so many things happen fairly quickly. Certain things happen where it's kind of seemed like things were some people's characters weren't that character, but I think if you like, what I did was we watched all the seasons together before season 8 came out. So for me, everything was fresh in my mind. So when Daenerys turned, it was more of like, she's kind of actually always been like that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That didn't surprise me at all. Yeah.
No, I mean, fair enough. She wasn't killing innocent people, but then again, she didn't lose a dragon before that. She didn't lose her best friend.
Yeah, that's what I said.
She didn't lose like her closest confidant. You know,
yeah. So the motive behind her going completely mental, completely understand. You know what I mean?
I wouldn't even say that she was mental. I would say she was completely sane and completely coherent. Like Richard said, she had lost 2 dragons. You have to remember it was in a short amount of time. Although we're watching it in seasons, that's happening to her like that. And then her closest confidant, and then her best friend, and then being rejected by the one she loves. That was a lot to happen to one person in a short amount of time.
Understandable, but at the same time, there has to be some form of a little bit of mentalness when your nephew rejects you, because obviously it's your nephew and he's like, I've got morals, I can't keep kissing my auntie, it feels wrong. You could tell on John's face, man's like, I can't kiss you.
But I don't get that though, because it's not like our way of life, right? Like Westerners' way of life right now. Even for us, it's like that kind of stuff was happening like 150 years ago, really.
Definitely. But I like the fact that John is like, I'm not comfortable with this, and it's okay because it's from a male point of view. If it was flipped, I think it would be like, oh, then it's kind of more acceptable. I like the fact that they pushed the fact that a guy was like, you know what, I'm not okay with it. Yeah, you might be calm with it, but me, I can't do this because it's wrong in my heart, innit? Yeah. So he was like, no. So I like that aspect. But then as well, I was like, well, I understand that Daenerys, like, she lost everybody, she lost everything. And then, but you have to live something switched in her. Mentally went out when she's just burning children.
Yeah, that was like, effed up. That was effed up.
Yeah, I'm like,
yeah. So, I like what Tyrion did though when she did her mad what's it called, the Imperial speech.
Entrance. Yeah, everybody must be rescued or saved. The release, whatever she said.
When she came back, when they were obviously when everything's burnt and mashed up here, and she came back. Yeah, and obviously she flew on, Drogon, and then they had that the scene with the wings that come up behind her.
Yeah,
she
that
just
looked
looked like
sick.
that was sick. She just looked like Star Wars. Like, what were they?
Yeah.
The bad guys. Who were they? What were they called? The red ones. Not rogues. What was the last? The Order.
Oh,
The First Order.
yeah.
She just looked like the medieval First Order. She had the red flag. All of them were lined up. She was like all in black, and I was like, all right, cool. You look dang great. You're still mad.
She looked mean, man. But that's the thing. I would have loved that to have carried on for a couple more episodes.
Yeah, definitely.
That bit, bit there.
I didn't like how Cersei died. It was too nice.
You think that was nice though?
That was
getting
too
crushed
nice.
there.
Yeah, it's too nice. The joke is Cersei got her man back. Yeah, she got her man back, brother man, whatever. And then it was like they died together. I was really hoping either that they missed each other, or like Jamie died on the way to her. You know what I mean? And then like she ran outside for some whatever reason because something's, the walls are coming down, and then like Daenerys sees it and just burns her to death. That calm. Get that. Yeah. I get that. But she's like, oh, I want to have our baby. And he's like, we're always together. And then I was like, no, that's too sweet.
I mean, that's... Were you going to say something, Karen?
Yeah. Sorry.
Oh, no, just that I just wanted to speak on Jamie real quick, because people have been saying like, oh, that thing with him and what's her face?
Oh, Brianna.
No, Brianna of Tarth. Yeah, saying, that was Brianna of Tarth. Said, oh, that whole thing with them was pointless. It amounted to nothing. I'm like, no, he thought he could be without his sister. He knows that's wrong. Yeah. You could tell early on that he had some sort of attraction to Brienne. We know, I refuse to believe that Cersei and Jamie were faithful to each other. Like, come on.
Yeah, no.
But at the end of the day, they loved each other that much where he thought, okay, I've got an attraction to this woman, but my sister and my love
my sister
and my love is in danger. I gotta go. So I understood where he was coming from.
I truly believe like I kind of accept it, because I believe that in the book, I think the reason why they went that route was because in the book they're going to go another route. And I was thinking this when in season, was it 3 or 4, when they showed the scene where she goes to the I think it's called the Frog Woman.
But the Oracle, yeah.
Oh, she didn't actually curse her. She just told her future.
Is there a future? Oh, I thought she cursed her.
No, she didn't curse her. She just told her she wanted to know her future, and she said, "No, you don't," because people know of the witch, but she actually told him to go away. And she was like, no, I want to know my future. Her being Cersei, thinking that she's the greatest thing in the world, insisted. So she just told her, straight up, you're gonna die. Your
children are gonna die. Yeah,
children are gonna die. You're gonna be the queen, but you're father any of the king's children. And blah, blah, blah. And in the book, it actually says that she will be killed by her younger brother. So she's thinking that it's Tyrion. But actually, in the series, she didn't actually say that. That wasn't mentioned in the series. So that's why I think the ending that we got in the series is going to be totally is different from what we will get in the book. And one thing I was saying to a colleague of mine as well was that I mean, the ending was okay, but I think we needed a bit more episodes and something a bit more. It was too. It felt like a soap opera, like I don't know, like EastEnders, like a Christmas episode of EastEnders.
Yeah, it was basically everybody. It's fair but unfair. If that made sense. It was everybody's happy, kind of, but this is as good as you're gonna get. You know what I mean? Like the only thing I'm happy about is that the Starks reign supreme. That if that translates in the book, I'm happy. Like I'm happy.
Yeah,
like
I'm not really happy about that much though.
Why not?
I wanted what do you call it? my girl to be on the throne, if I'm honest.
Queen
of the North.
Yeah, Sansa. I was predicting that she'll be the queen. But
I think a lot of people thought there was going to be, or there are theories going out. Even my mum thought. My mum doesn't hear theories; she just says what she thinks. But even she said, "Oh, I imagined Tyrion and Sansa being on the throne." I think a lot of people did.
Yeah. It would have made more sense as well. Like,
I think the show did a decent enough ending. Like, I know I admit that the season was rushed. I think the whole thing with the Night Walkers should have been a season. That should have been this season. And then the whole thing with Cersei and Daenerys should have been the last season.
Season 9,
and then call it there. But I would say that this was rushed. But for what they did in the time that they had, for whatever reason, it was pretty decent. Pretty decent.
It was good.
I didn't come away thinking I'm like I've said this in the group. My brother said it. It didn't end like Dexter, where I'm like, no, I'll never watch Dexter again. It was that bad.
No, Dexter's sick, man. Sick.
I'm sorry. I mean, this is me. I wouldn't watch Dexter again.
No, you need to watch season 1, 2, and 3 of Dexter. You can't tell me Dexter was shit.
I'm not saying Dexter was shit. I'm saying the ending was so shit that it ruined the rest of the show. No, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying Dexter was shit. And but getting to my point anyway.
Sorry, man. I love
Game of Thrones. I didn't even say Dexter was shit. Game of Thrones.
You said, bro, you said, bro, you ain't gonna watch Dexter again. That's what you said.
Yeah, because the ending was so shit. I honestly wouldn't watch it again.
It's like
anyways.
Go ahead.
Anyways, don't talk to me about heroes, my day.
Yeah, go.
Game of Thrones didn't give me that kind of ending. It gave me an ending where I'm like, yeah, I would definitely sit and watch this again. So it didn't ruin it for me.
Yeah. I enjoyed how John like went off with the wildlings. I liked that because I feel like that's just where he was supposed to be.
Yeah.
And they listened to us because they were like,
speaking of supposed to be,
God, so yeah. But you know what I mean? He got banished to the wall again. And he was like, all right, cool, fuck it. Like, and then like he saw like the wild people, and he was like, yeah, I'm just gonna take all of them and just F off into the woods. And then he took his dog. I'm so happy Snow.
That's the only one to survive.
I'm so happy Ghost not only surviving one.
Nigerians are alive still somewhere.
Yeah. They've got a pack in it. They're in the book. They got a mean pack, so that's cool. But he got his one ear, and him, John, and the wildlings are just going off to have ginger like monster babies. Like, it's great. Like, you know what I mean? And I loved Arya's, where, you know what I mean, her like, I'm gonna travel, if that makes sense. You know what I mean?
That was dope.
I liked that, but I would. This is never gonna happen, but I would have hoped we would get like a mini series with her, because she was. Can I just say one thing? Yeah. when John was chatting to Daenerys, and he's like, okay, not where he murks her, but like before at the stairs, and he's like, da, and then she goes off, and then bam, Arya's just there with her ninja self. I was like,
that was it.
How did you get there? Like, you passed all the Unsullied, and you were just like, John. I was like, where is she coming from?
One thing no program right now can touch is their cinematography. It is
phenomenal.
It is. It's so
phenomenal.
Good.
Yeah.
But what are you saying about where he was supposed to be?
The bottle. Who? John.
John.
Yeah. He was.
What peed me off was when Brands are broken.
Yes.
So
Brands are Batman.
We want you to be the king. Like, why do you think I'm here? What the hell do you mean? Why do you think you're here? You left no indication to anyone.
Yeah, that he wanted to be king. Yeah.
You said you didn't want anything.
I was gonna say to me, he came across that he just didn't want anything. He just was. He already was what he was. He was the three-eyed raven. He sought out to become the three-eyed raven, and that's what he was. So that was a bit left field for me.
You're telling us you're here. Why are you here? Meaning that you've always had this intention. So everything that's happened, you've instigated.
Basically. Yep.
you've instigated and didn't tell people certain stuff, because there's been bare times in the show where us as viewers are like, Bran, just tell them what's gonna happen. Tell them what's happening. Do this, do that. Like, even when it really and truly, John didn't even have to tell anyone.
No, Bran could have told it.
Tell John that he's a Targaryen, because that didn't even turn up to be anything.
John, I know. It didn't. That pissed me off as well, because I
think that was a bit of a disappointment as well, because that was like a huge thing. I found out about that before it was said in the show. I think. Yeah. So it's like when you're waiting for something, for that to mean something near the end of the Game of Thrones, and it doesn't. All it did was put the runner up, or the front runner. It just made her nervous. That's all it did. But having said that, she could have killed him at any moment. Got a dragon to, like, do you know what I mean? It wasn't really a threat, even though he did kill her, but it wasn't an immediate threat.
You
know what I mean?
Exactly. I mean, even if like they've done like a spin thing where it's just like, okay, cool. He murks off Daenerys. Drogon comes and he's like, "What happened to my mum?" And he's like, someone put on Twitter, like, I put a meme about, as you said, Drogon come and he was like, "What happened to mum?" And then you see someone point, like, the chair did it, and it's just like blame on the chair. Sorry, going back, but then if they really wanted to, like, if they were, obviously because they were really lazy and like doing the Targaryen, you know what I mean, Stark thing with Jon, he could have just been like, he could have gone on. Like, that would have been a perfect time to talk to Drogon, because no one's like, they can talk, the Targaryens can talk to the dragons. No one's spoken to them. So if they had a scene where obviously he's murked her off and he's like, this isn't the place for us, and then obviously Drogon burns the thing and he's like, let's go. And he gets on Drogon, and then all three of them go off. Then, all right, cool. At least that's some little sprinkling of some Targaryen-ness, because it's just like
funny. I think they tried to portray that in a way, because when he dry mouth, when he burnt the throne, I remember I was watching with my mum, my stepdad, and my stepdad was like, it's almost as if to say he knew that was the problem, the chair was the problem, and he burnt it. So I didn't know that in the book Targaryens could talk to dragons. So I'm wondering if it's like a hint to the fans, like one of those, if you know, you know. Oh, you know, the dragon has an idea, has understood this whole thing that his mum has been going through. Gets upset, know that his mum just died for that throne. Burns it so that no one can have it, and then takes his mum. Do you know what I mean? It's like hearing what you said. It seems like that was a nod to the fans who read the books.
But as well as like, you got to do a nod to the viewers as well. Like, can you just like?
I mean, I think if you do pay attention, you can see that these dragons ain't stupid.
Clearly. But there are people out there that just aren't gonna even think about it. Do you get what I mean?
They're just dragons, man.
Watching TV. I had this conversation with someone the other day. Watching TV, I feel like there's people who understand things, and then there's people who understand things. And I've had conversations. I've had conversations in primary school, went on to secondary school, and then to adult life, where I'm like, you don't get it, and it baffles me. So
the only thing the only thing I didn't get, because obviously I haven't read the books at all, was when someone said that Bran sent Arya the white horse, like an Uber, like that. I know that was a specific.
That would have been sick as well, actually. If they actually showed that Bran did do that, if Bran did send that horse, that would have been sick.
It's
but
true.
I know it's symbolic, but I don't know why. And I'm like, okay, cool. That makes me want to go and read the books, which is great, because I'm gonna get the collection anyway. You just have to. You have to get Lord of the Rings. You have to get Harry Potter, and you have to get this. Like, it's just you just gotta have it just to have it. You know what I mean?
No, and yes.
No, yes. Yeah, but you know, you just as if you want to be a collector, just collect them in it. But then it's just like, I want to know what that significance was with the white horse, because it was very profound. It was a very, this is a significant moment. I was like,
no, that's exactly how I'm taking this this series. Is like, you've got the TV series ending, or the TV series story, and then you've got the book where it's more of a massive Bible, because a lot of characters that are in the book are not in the TV shows. There's a lot of characters in the TV shows that are like 2-3 different characters in the book. You know, the Night King isn't even in the book. So you know, there's a lot of
the Night King isn't in the book.
No, the Night King isn't in the book. So you know, there's a lot of things that you can. For me, has not a book reader, but I was watching all the extended DVD box sets stories that actually add on to what the show is telling. So that really fascinated me. So with me thinking, oh, you know, if Bran did send the horse to Arya, that would, or even when Bran was sitting at a table with his crew, whatever, and he said, "Oh, I can have a look where Drogon is," even if he just did that.
I actually thought we were going to see that.
Yeah,
that would have been amazing. Because I wanted him to walk into so many animals. I was like, you had that whole big fight.
He only walked into a goddamn crow.
And
Hodor.
Yeah.
There was so much
he can walk into people. That's what I got excited. I was like, he can walk into people. That's a big thing.
Yeah,
like he could have walked into the Night King, or he could have walked into Jon.
I remember that theory that was out there that he was going to walk into the Night King, and that was a dope theory, and I was actually quite disappointed that didn't pan out.
Didn't happen. But and he got trapped in the Night King or something.
Yeah, that's why I say that this season should have been all that, because I didn't even know they mentioned it. But I mean, it's not that I didn't know. I completely forgot that the Night King was after Bran, and I'm like, wait, why?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, and it's like we don't find out why. You know what I mean? I completely forgot that the Night King was after Bran. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I just thought because
that could have been a sick reason.
Babies.
Yeah,
exactly.
That could have been a sick reason. So the Night King can capture Bran's body and how he touched him when he was was checking out where the Night King was. Night King could have looks for him, got his body, and walked into anybody in the Seven Kingdoms.
There you go.
You know, but I mean that's the thing. The show had so much potential. It did what it did. I didn't like the soap opera kind of end. Like the first half of the series of the episode was really good.
Yeah.
So it's different directors that did the first half and the second half. The second half was a bit too jokey, a bit too end of the season of
you
know, Friends or whatever. And that was disappointing. But like I said, that's just a TV show.
Exactly. Books are yet to come. Yeah.
So you know,
do we know when the next books are coming out or no?
We don't know when the next book is coming out, but we do know that there's going to be a series. There was supposed to be 5 TV series, or what do you call it? 5 series. Spin-offs. That's it.
Okay,
There's going to be 5 spin-offs, but I think one or two of them got scrapped. One is actually filming at the moment, and 2 of them are in production. So
the Arya one got scrapped, didn't it?
Don't know if it's Arya or anything. I know people want an Arya show, but I don't think anyone said that there's going to be an Arya show. I wouldn't actually want to see that. Honestly, I would want to see. Yeah, no, I would want to see either. I want to see when the Night King was made. All that.
Yeah, Night King would be good. Yeah.
I want to see the original Targaryen war.
That
was like 1,000 years after. I want to see. I'm sure there was another event as well, and possibly even like imagine. A 2019 version of Game of Thrones world. What would that look like?
Wow.
Yeah.
With dragons.
That would be like postcode gangs. That would be like Oyster card battles, like underground battles on the tube. and the DLR or like the overgrown.
We wouldn't see. Bear in mind, we wouldn't see all that. We wouldn't see the people, the lower people. Game of Thrones focused on everyone else, like the upper class people. We didn't see what was happening in the streets and all of that. We have no idea. So that might be happening.
Like that. Maybe even a series about that as well. Like even the lower class people, or even
just what they thought. Can you imagine like asking people in Westeros, like, so how are you feeling like things are going on right now? And they're just like, well, this Brexit thing that's going on right here with Cersei and this dragon woman, I don't know what's going on.
It'll be the north separating from the Seven Kingdoms. That's exactly what they did. That's what Sansa did. She just Brexited the Seven Kingdoms.
Brexited the whole thing.
Yeah.
That's sick. Oh no. No, can I just say as well, sorry, that part. There were two parts when all the man was sitting down and was it Gilly? He was like, no, I can't remember. He was like, so why don't we let the people decide? And they were like, and that's when you remember that they're upper class in it. And then my man stood up and he was like, so basically, I have been, and Sansa was like, Sam, it's calm, innit? Just sit down. I was building. I was like, Sansa, how are you gonna do that? How are you gonna boy man in front of his peers? And did you see the water bottle?
Yeah, I didn't notice it.
And someone said Twitter was raging, boy. So you know the guy who had I think he was in blue. He had like a nice like sash and he had the short hair. He was the guy that was suckling on his mum. He
got older. Yeah.
Someone was like, "Oh, these milk suckling glow ups." But then he forgot his bottle. He still had his bottle because he put a bottle of water under the chair. They were like, "Oh no, but he still got his bottle though." I was dying. I was like, Twitter for the win. Yes, thank you.
It was good. It was good.
Yeah, it was alright. Yeah.
Yeah,
I enjoy Game of Thrones.
Yeah. If they had a few more episodes.
Yeah.
A little bit more.
They could have done another 3 seasons easy. They had the funding for it. You know what I mean? It was cool, but it's just disappointing that the writers didn't finish what they started because it was the material was so good. You know what I mean? It was so good. And we don't get things like this all the time. Like it's once in a blue moon. You know what I mean?
Kind of makes you wonder what the next show will be because Walking Dead. Remember when Walking Dead was Game of Thrones? Like when people bang on Walking Dead.
I think what the mix is that you have to have a show that's on terrestrial TV as well because there are 6 shows on a streaming network.
Yeah,
but because they're not released at the same time, you know, it's all binge watching things. So the thing with Game of Thrones, we're all experiencing it on. If you're in America, Sunday night, Monday night.
It's a community program, you know.
It's a mad community thing. So like you can only get that through watching it through terrestrial TV.
Yeah, sure.
You can't get the same effect on streaming. But the way things are going now with Disney having their streaming service, Netflix having theirs, you know, a lot of these other companies doing their streaming thing. We're not going to have shows like that anymore, like Breaking Bad or The Wire. Everybody can watch together. It's a watching together thing. So
which is a shame because you know, I mean, a lot. I know we as viewers, we really appreciate the amount of effort that goes into the TV shows, which is why we're so like gun ho for them. You know what I mean? So it's just like, you know what I mean? Like Kieran said, it'd be interesting to hopefully if something does come back, it'll be interesting to see what it is. You know what I mean? Because it's just like. Now we've had that kind of medieval drama thing. Is it going to be, you know what I mean? Is it going to be witches next time, or is it going to be mermaids? Are we getting a mermaid?
There already is a mermaid show.
I know it's Siren, but I don't like
it. Like, not even the wife. I'm just saying.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It's what's going to be next? Like, what can they do?
I wouldn't be surprised if even like. One of the Star Wars ones that are coming out. I don't think the first couple. I don't think Mandalorian would have that effect, or even one of the Marvel ones. I think if they bring them out like week by week and not all 6 episodes together, then you could probably
build up.
say that, But yeah, it has to be. I think it's got to be something epic, because Disney has that money to spend. I don't know how much was each episode of Game of Thrones?
Yeah, a lot.
Couple mil.
Couple million each.
Yeah, so yeah,
they've got the money and the backing to do that. So
definitely. But
yeah,
yeah,
we need
end of
some
an
more
era.
dragons.
Yeah, we need some more dragons. Dire wolves. I'm all about the dire wolves. Stark for life. I told everybody in season 1, I was like, look, they murked off my dire wolves, but the Starks will reign supreme. I was kind of right. Okay, kind of right. So yes, there we go.
Sansa's a badass though.
Yeah,
Sansa's the one. Just the best character.
Yeah.
Her and Tyrion.
Yeah,
so
her development from where she started to now is brilliant. That especially that level of acting as well. Superb.
Yeah,
that is absolutely superb. It's absolutely superb. So yeah, man.
We could talk about this all day. I think we should actually do like a rewatch season by season.
Ooh, I wouldn't mind that. Be cool. I really just want to see Jamie push Brad out the window again. I don't know why. Like, it's just one of those penultimate scenes. Like,
things I do for love.
Things I do for love.
But Jamie is. Do you know what? Actually, one more thing. Jamie is a better hero than Jon Snow, because at least Jamie stopped the Mad King from burning people up.
True.
True.
Yeah. That
blew my mind. Oh my! Where's he going with this?
True. Yeah. True. Yeah. John had their opportunities.
But Jamie wasn't in love with the Mad King, as far as I know. Jamie wasn't related to the Mad King.
No, that don't matter.
Yeah,
but he knew what he knew what to do was right. No, that's true. John had bare opportunities, and he saw this. Okay, this is what happens when people have red flags and people just are in denial. And you're like, nah.
It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah, she's my queen. Someone said, Twitter was doing the most. So someone had a pie chart and they were like 50-50 of John lines throughout the season. I don't want it, and she's my queen. Like, that was it. That was his lines. Like, it's just like, but he knew, and it was just like, how many people have got to tell you, fam?
Yeah, exactly. How many people died before you even realized?
Exactly. And that's what I said. I knew it was going to be like a Wolverine, like Phoenix moment, because it looked the same as well. And there was like, he was like, oh, what about everybody else? And she was like, everybody else doesn't get to choose.
Be my queen.
Like, queen, that's it. And then just like, and she was like,
yeah.
But no, Drogon actually made me cry. It wasn't even her dying that made me cry. Like,
Drogon
made me cry.
It was.
I was gonna say, wasn't that acting giving us some sick? Wasn't that dragon giving us some sick acting?
Yeah,
man. CGI acting.
Like, I've seen like Roger Rabbit and I don't know, like Bedknobs and Broomsticks, where they just mix like Garfield, that's just, but that dragon, Oscar, Oscar, Grammys.
No, when he was shoving her, like,
Jurassic Park, Godzilla.
None of them gave us that. None of us gave us that. None of it. No, Drogon needs to get best CGI actor of the year. That's what he needs.
Kong's Island, King Kong's Island.
Oh,
Kong's Island.
I'm just saying that dragon gave us some dope acting. Like, I've seen it a lot.
He did.
Yeah, definitely.
Very much so.
Dragons' lives matter, man.
Dragon.
All right.
Well done, Dragon. Well done. Yes.
Let's try and get on to the last thing of the day.
Okay.
We have been going on for more than an hour, and we did say we wanted to talk about this last week.
Okay, go ahead.
Yes. Into some after Endgame news.
Endgame.
Zemo and Sharon Carter should be returning in Falcon and the Winter Soldier series.
Excuse me.
So, Zemo was the bad guy from was it Civil War? He's the one who actually got it, the characters fighting against each other. And Sharon Carter, obviously,
Steve Rogers' Wiz.
Yeah. So
okay.
They're back in, rumored to be back in Falcon and the Winter Soldier TV series, miniseries.
Yeah, now they can do all of that because they've made the space-time continuing timeline interdimensional thing. So it's like they can pull people from different lines and just have them. Great.
Well, they're still alive in there anyway. So.
Yeah, true. Yeah. So, okay, cool.
That sounds cool.
Yeah.
Good news.
Sounds alright.
Yeah. You're not gonna watch that?
Yeah.
I mean, wait, forget. No, Rich, I already know the answer. Isha, you're gonna watch it.
I want to see the Falcon and Winter Soldier because I just think they just have a hilarious back and forth banter.
Would you say that duo was dynamic?
We're funny. They were a dynamic duo. But anybody who kind of filters in or out, they need to bring it up here because them two already, the banter is going to be hilarious. You know what I mean? Just even when they were in the back of the car in Civil War, and he's like, "Oh, can you move over?" And he was like, "No," and it's just like they're stupid in it. It's great. So it should be fun. So yeah, I'll give it a watch.
Yeah, definitely on there. Apparently, they found the director. The director is goes by the name of Carrie Scoodlin. She's set to direct the 6-part Disney Plus miniseries. She is an Emmy-nominated BAFTA-winning director. She's a showrunner and a CEO of Mad Rabbit and a Red Arrow Studios company. That was launched in 2016. She's directed episodes of The Handmaid's Tale, the pilot block of AMC's NOS 4A2, which stars Zachary Quinto. I've not heard of that. The stars The Rock. And she's been an executive producer on History's Sons of Liberty, a 6-part event miniseries. She's won the Directors Guild of Canada award for the best director of television miniseries. She's worked on Boardwalk Empire, The Killing, The Walking Dead, and
Boardwalk Empire was the ish.
Was Stephen Simi?
Yes, that was.
Yeah, that was
Boardwalk
dope.
Empire was. Yeah. That was. I forgot about that. That was hard. Yeah. Okay, you got some good credentials, but don't be coming up in here.
She's got more. She's got Penny Dreadfuls, Power, Vikings,
Penny Dreadful,
Cards, The Punisher, The Americans. She's
seasoned.
She's seasoned.
She's
seasoned. All right, cool. All right. And she's seasoned in our genre because it's all nice. You got The Handmaiden and Ting, but the fact that you said Punisher, cool, great. You know what I mean? Go for it. Exactly. Okay, welcome aboard, babe. Let's do this.
So Kevin Feige was also he did a non-spoiler Ask Me Anything on Reddit. So he's obviously got asked questions about MCU and stuff like that. So
we're gonna see the X-Men, probably. That's what it was.
It was pretty much like that. Let's see if I can find the question.
When is Ghost Rider gonna come back? Probably. We're gonna see Daredevil again? Probably.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do this until Richard gets the thing.
There's one. Did the Hulk or Tony snap in Endgame release radiation that could create mutants?
Probably.
Said who knows, but probably not.
Okay.
Why do people feel like it has to be a thing where the mutants have to be introduced in a way? Why can't the mutants just already be there but haven't exposed themselves yet? That simple. It's like everyone's trying to make it so complicated. It doesn't need to be. They're there already. They're there already. Sorry,
you've seen some of them. It's fine. Okay.
You've seen two. Two of them were in the movie.
Yeah,
come on. Oh, but Loki's staff did that. You're an idiot.
Anything is possible, but hold on, sorry. Anything is possible, but I don't know whether you'd need that. Genetic mutation is genetic mutation. It just happens.
Yeah.
They're already there. That was said by Marcus. I think Marcus was one of the writers for Endgame. Sorry, I'm kind of mixing this up with Kevin Feige's AMA and the writers of Endgame talking about theories.
That's all right. I don't like the fact that Hawkeye isn't a mutant. I really just want him to be a mutant.
Why? He's not.
Why?
I mean, it's
why can't he just be very talented?
Yeah. No, he can be very talented, but that would just be a really cool mutation.
I'm sorry, but
he just never
talent
misses.
I think mutant powers make talent redundant. So
yeah.
So sorry, going back to Kevin Feige's questions, there was one that was asked by Property
Nude Master 69.
Nude Master 69. He said, "How far is the MCU plan in advance?" And he says, "We usually work with a specific 5-year plan at any given point. Often have a general plan that extends much, much further." Yeah.
So MCU is looking like Disney right now, where they're just gonna branch off and do Pixar things, and
what will happen is that we'll get to a point where the MCU will just keep on going. We will see Ultron again. We will see Thanos come back, and we will see things like 3, 4, 5 different people have played Steve Rogers and Tony Stark.
Yeah,
that's what will happen. And people would have died and been resurrected. Captain America is going to be black. Then he's going to go back to being white. And then if there's like an Asian Captain America in the comics, they'll throw that in there. And it could just go on. It could just go on for as long as comic books are. And as long as there's a market for it.
I wouldn't be surprised if the next 5 years they do the cosmic side of things. We pretty much know what films they're bringing out in the next 5 years.
Yeah.
Once that's done, and we've all read Jonathan Hickman's X-Men, they're going to do the X-Men spin-offs. Based on probably Jonathan Hickman's X-Men, which is happening now. And then that'll probably be like another 5-10 years for us from now, probably 10-15 years later. We'll probably get.
I'm gonna need to stay alive for this.
Captain America back, the old man Cap, and maybe even some of the Hulk, or a different Hulk, or
they probably would have CGI'd Stan Lee in by then. You know what I mean? He's like just cameoing all over the damn place.
Exactly. Another question from the AMA was, how much will the Disney Plus shows weave into the films? He says totally, completely. That's obviously good news for us.
What was the question?
How will the Disney Plus shows weave into the films?
I thought you said how will Disney, will they have input, like a lot of input in? I thought you said will they have a lot of input in the shows, and I was like,
no.
But it's TV. Okay, cool, that's fine. Yeah, that's good.
At least it feels like they won't be lying to us this time. Like we were blatantly or we were told half truths with like the Netflix stuff and.
It's all connected.
It's all connected. That's what kids want to hear, right? That they're connected.
There was another question that everybody was talking about, actually, was without going into details about developing projects, are there any plans to incorporate the 10 rings from the first Iron Man or the real Mandarin teased in All Hail the King in the future? And he said yes. So I'm sure we'll get something from. I
don't want to see the Mandarin now. There's no Iron Man.
Well, yeah, I guess.
I mean, not yet.
Spoilers for Endgame.
You know what I mean? We don't know who's Iron Man. It might be his little Bubba. It might be, I don't know.
Yeah.
Spider-Man. You don't know. War Machine could don't get used
to don't get used to Spider-Man. Seriously, you're getting way too comfortable with Spider-Man. You're getting proper comfortable. Like seriously, Venom is doing great. Don't get comfortable with Spider-Man.
Yeah, exactly.
I just want one film with Miles Morales and Spider-Man. But yeah, go and say it again.
I mean, that will happen, but it won't be the way you want it. That's what I'm saying.
I know.
That's all I'm saying.
I know.
It won't be the way you want it.
Yeah, don't jinx it.
Okay, go. Sorry.
Right.
So go, bitch.
Sorry, as I was doing earlier, I was actually mixing up the questions with Christopher Marcus and Stephen McFeely, who were the writers of Endgame. So they had some questions thrown at them, and they were answering them pretty well, actually. So one of them was there really only one way to defeat Thanos? The verdict was exactly. Probably. The only way this works is if Tony dies. If you go back and watch Infinity War, when Strange says one, Benedict is just choked on emotion. Now that you know the end, go back and watch that moment. He means you're going to have to die, Tony.
Yeah.
There was another question. Could the Avengers have brought back Tony back to life using the Infinity Gauntlet?
No. What's wrong with these people? They didn't watch it.
Oh
it was obvious.
If you can't bring back Black Widow, you're not bringing back Tony.
It's annoying. It's like people aren't watching it. They're not. This is what I said earlier. All right, you know what? Segue. Because there's people who understand, and there's people who understand. You just don't get it.
Okay, this is the title of the show. There are people who understand, and then there's understand.
But that proved my point exactly my point.
There you go. Oh dear.
It's a dark side.
Never mind.
So another question. Did Steve Rogers offer Bucky the mantle of Captain America?
Probably.
That's not our intent. No, it's just honoring their relationship, said McFeely. Steve clearly, before he stepped onto that platform, told Bucky what he was going to do. Whether he knew he was going to appear on that bench, I don't think so. Why would Bucky say, "I'm going to miss you, pal," if it was only going to be 5 seconds?
Exactly. Yeah.
I always thought that when people were saying, "Oh, he knew," I know that Steve must have told him, "Yeah, I'm not coming back," but he's not going to be like, "But turn around and look over there. It's all good." That just doesn't make any sense. But anyway, whatever.
There's another one about Neymar, actually. Find it. Was there a Neymar reference in Endgame? This goes back to when Black Widow was
talking to
Okoye, and Okoye about an earthquake, undersea earthquake. Everyone's like, "Oh, it's got some Neymar reference." Neymar. Basically, no, it wasn't.
It was just an earthquake, people. Okay.
Yeah, I wish we were that smart, basically.
But I heard that the other day, and I was busting up. I thought that was so funny. Because I love it when the studio admits. You know what? It's annoying when fans' theories are out there and they never get acknowledged. But when they do, I love it when they get acknowledged. It just makes me laugh.
Exactly.
Oh, that was actually a pretty good idea. Anyways. Any more?
Yep. How did that all-female shot come about? That was the end game, the last fight with ladies. We certainly thought long and hard about it. I remember on set that day when we did it, every woman in the crew came down because they were incredibly excited to see it. It was a big moment. We took pictures of everybody. So they didn't really explain how it came about. But he said Marcus called it a celebration of these characters, with McFeely adding, we asked ourselves, have we earned it? And occasionally in the edit would say, should we take it out? And everybody said, I like it. So
okay, cool.
It came out, but I liked it. So
okay,
It was a good scene to have, and it was, it was just, it's especially for the younger kids. I think that's just an important scene, for the girls, because obviously, it's no one's gonna lie, the MCU is male dominated. There's loads of men, but just to see a group, just to see a group of women like that, it's nice. Like Valkyrie was on a horse, them ting there, and then she's in a suit, and then this one's crashing ting. It was great. know what I
I
mean?
enjoyed the scene. I thought it was cool. I when that happened, I got excited. I was like, yeah, girl,
me
go get
too.
your. So yeah.
In my head, I know this obviously when I'm 60 this will happen, but in my head I mentally put in Storm, Rogue, Kitty Pryde. Like I just did that for myself. I was like, okay, it's great. So in my head it was amazing, and then on screen it was amazing. So everything was amazing. So yeah, it's great. So yeah, it was good.
All right. So the last one, which is probably the most important one, perhaps the most hotly debated Endgame plot point, is the fate of Captain America, who traveled back in time to live out his life with Peggy. 2014's Captain America Winter Soldier established that Peggy had a husband and 2 kids, and some have theorized that Steve Rogers secretly was this husband all along. Others have stated that Steve created an alternate timeline when he went back to live with Peggy and somehow got back to the main MCU as an old man. So Marcus and Feely accepted that different people will have different viewpoints on this topic, but in their minds, Steve was Peggy's husband all along.
That means he's got super soldier children.
1 or 2 out there, or potentially.
It was always our intention. This is what McFeely said. It was always our intention that he was the father of those 2 children, but again, there are time travel loopholes for that. Marcus added, it does introduce the idea that there are 2 children who have somewhat super soldier DNA.
There was that they could introduce. There was that. I don't know if you saw the animated movie where the Avengers had these kids, and the kids became like these new Avengers.
Yeah,
and that one that was Captain America's son. They can put him in the MCU now. Just saying.
There you go. Just slot them in. It's the new Avengers. Come on now. There we go. Simple.
I'm just gonna be real though.
Child.
I'm gonna be real. I don't want to see any of that.
I mean, keep that for Disney. Keep that for Disney.
No,
take the little pilot girl from the Captain Marvel film. Take Tony Stark's daughter. Take Captain America's Winter Soldier.
The little pilot girl. What?
She wasn't a pilot, but she wants to be.
The girl who grew up to be Captain Marvel in the comics should be.
Yeah, her. That one.
Man, she's too important. She doesn't.
No, I know,
she's
but
not.
for now, take her and then like
in
just
a
mold
Captain
her.
Marvel movie.
Yeah.
And she could be the brains. Like she builds stuff and then she goes off and she's Captain Marvel. You know. Yeah. But that can be for Disney Channel plus 1, 2, 8, 5, whatever they're doing. So it's fine. We adults don't need that. We're good. Thanks.
So yeah, that's it for, I guess, this issue.
Yes, our lengthy issue. Sorry, Game of Thrones took all of that time.
That's good. We have to talk about Game of Thrones.
We did. Yes. It was important. But thank you for joining us. Issue 63.
Yeah, thanks everybody.
Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. Go on our Teesprings. Buy our merch. This isn't our merchandise, but Rich is wearing our merchandise. Wear it. It's great.
Yep.
And it helps us to help you, to help us to make more stuff so you can come and watch our stuff. So yeah.
Indeed.
Yes.
If you do go onto our Teespring page, don't forget to use the promotion, the 20% off, 20. You can get 20% off t-shirts and hoodies.
Yeah.
And thank you for everybody who's bought them. The gym guy, everybody. Like, we appreciate you. We don't forget you, so it's cool. Come and talk to us at Comic-Con as well.
Yes. Comic-Con this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Yeah. You looking forward to it?
Gonna be.
No, I won't be there.
Excited. Why?
I just got prior engagements of not wanting to go.
It's fine. That means he's on a mission. A secret Red Hood mission.
But hey, you guys have fun out there, and anything you hear about the Source Wall, you just come check us. You're probably, if you would have, then you're checking us out now. So those people who we've already met, hey, how's it going? Share with your friends, like, comment, share, subscribe, and don't forget to bring a sandwich.
Yeah, exactly. See you guys later and live long and prosper.
Peace out, people.